Hello there, guys, and welcome back to Blues Fans TV for yet another Premier League live match review as Chelsea are held to an extremely disappointing 1-1 draw away at Southampton. And before I get into any criticisms, before I get into anything else, first of all, round of applause to Mr. Mason Mount, because the guy's a monster. The guy's a monster. I don't care what anyone says, he's a monster. But Thomas Tuchel's substitution madness and lineup madness to some extent as well backfires completely, and we drop points and are, of course, in danger of dropping out of the top four again after just regaining it in the last game. Of course, if you're new to Blues Fans TV, please be sure to subscribe. Help us reach 125,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Smash the like button and subscribe to my channel, to which the link is in the title. Just click the @ to my name, Laurent Vescoli, as you can see down here. I will be doing a player ratings live stream with Jay McIntosh and CFC Pice over there straight after this one, so definitely make sure to get subscribed and check that out. And of course, I do need to shout out our sponsors of today's video, as you can see all over the screen, One Football. And if you don't know One Football, well, to be honest, what are you doing? Because they're absolutely brilliant. They really are brilliant. So, you know, like the name suggests, it's a football app where you get all of the latest football news from pretty much every team around the world. And that's transfer news, as well as, of course, score updates, lineup updates, injury news, everything you could possibly need straight to your phone, including as well transfer rumors, especially with this indicator light that shows the likelihood of a certain transfer happening. Of course, Chelsea have been linked to many players for this summer, whether it's Erling Haaland, whether it's David Alaba, Niklas Süle, Jerome Boateng, and others as well. And, you know, Kessie as well from AC Milan, of course, in an apparent swap deal with Fikayo Tomori. So there's a lot of things going on. And if you go on the One Football app and you check the indicator light, that will tell you how likely they believe that transfer to be. You can pick multiple favorite teams and leagues all around the world and get all the live score updates, of course, straight to your phone, and all the other news as well. It's honestly just a brilliant app. I can only recommend downloading it. I really can. And, you know, do so with the link down in the description. It's in the first line of the description. We really appreciate them sponsoring us. And like I said, it's just a good app that honestly everyone should have on their phone. So go down below and download the One Football app with our link right now. But getting into the game and getting into talking about the team and the lineup and everything, of course, everybody in the chat, big up yourselves. We have the first super chat of the day by Mr. Beef Boss with the £5 donation. Appreciate that. Saying Abraham needs to be loaned out. He isn't Premier League standard. Got outclassed by a Liverpool reject. Mount saved us big time. Poor display. I guess I will touch on it. But did you see an improvement in the second half when Tammy wasn't on the pitch? Because by that standard, all of our attackers are not Premier League standard. So, you know, if you're going to have a go at Tammy for it, have a go at everybody else for it. Because clearly we weren't any better in the second half now, were we? So that's why I disagree with this statement. But let's get into the team. Let's get into the team, because the lineup was a madness again. Thomas Tuchel just keeps surprising us. He just keeps on doing it. And it's a little bit crazy, quite frankly. Yeah, Mendy was back in goal. The back three remained the same. We remained with the same formation. Aspie, Rudiger as the left centre-back and the right centre-back. But out of nowhere, Kurt Zouma gets his first Premier League start under Thomas Tuchel and starts as the central centre-back. What happens? Kurt Zouma makes the vital mistake to allow Southampton and Minamino to put them 1-0 up in the first half. Reece James at right wing back, no Callum Hudson-Odoi. Alonso again a left wing back. And then in midfield, N'Golo Kante came in for Jorginho, which in my opinion didn't particularly work all that well either. Kante had a really good first half, and especially first half an hour. I mean, his passing was still dreadful, and we probably could have scored had he, you know, picked a better pass sometimes. But the big issue was that with Kante playing and with Kante's strengths being to be aggressive, that meant Mateo Kovacic had to sit more. And we had Kante in and around the final third making decisive passes instead of Mateo Kovacic like recently. And that cost us drastically in the final third. And that continues with why I was just baffled with Thomas Tuchel's substitutions. I just didn't get them. And then the front three was, I think, actually the same as in the last game. Like a front three of Tammy Abraham up top, Timo Werner to his left as a left inside forward, and Mason Mount on the right as more of a right number 10. And honestly, it's a little bit crazy. I see a lot of you in the chat. Obviously, I can't reply to everybody. If you really want to make sure that I see your chat message, do use the super chat function. But of course, you can also tune into my channel. There will be a couple of less people probably, so you'll find it easier to, you know, get your message read and whatever else. So, like I said, play a rating stream straight after this one over there. Subscribe. My link is in the title. But yeah, I mean, we started the game incredibly well. It was a good game to watch. Like, yeah, people say, oh, it was dead and no chances created and this and that. I thought it was good to watch. Southampton pressing us dealing with the press, us pressing them, winning the ball back super quick every single time. And, like, it was weird. Like, it was good to watch. And I was even tweeting, like, the press resistance that we have when the pitch is, you know, good, unlike it was obviously at Barnsley, is crazy. But the same old issue that we've had in pretty much every game under Thomas Tuchel, maybe the least amount of that the last time out against Newcastle, was the link between defense and / midfield and the attack. We just couldn't get it there. And when we got there, we made the wrong decision every time. The wrong pass too late, shot in the wrong moment, poor crosses, left, right, and centre. Honestly, poor crosses all the time. And it just weren't quite good enough. And we didn't really create anything. We took us, I can't remember how long it was, maybe 12 minutes or so. A lovely counter-attack. Played out from the back. Lovely Rudiger ball to Timo Werner, who spanned the defender, went on a bit of a run, then actually played a poor pass to Mason. But Mason somehow dealt with it anyway. Played it wide to Reece. Reece with a beautiful eye to Marcos Alonso at the far post, who took the ball on the volley. And to be honest, any player that is Marcos Alonso, you're not exactly upset if they don't score it, because it's such a difficult chance. But because of Marcos Alonso, that just being his thing, obviously he bottled it. And not bottled it, but, he didn't hit the volley perfectly and put it wide. But that was really our only proper chance in the first half that I can remember right now anyway. There wasn't offside. There was a Zouma header, which was off. Other than a Rudiger shot from distance, which was the most comfortable save I've ever seen in my life. We have another donation here by Daniel saying, for $5 Canadian, appreciate that, bro, saying Callum Hudson-Odoi should never have come off, disappointed in Tuchel's decision today. Fair enough. That is a absolutely fair enough statement to make. I was baffled by it. I'm not sure whether I just in terms of confidence, I don't think, if he was super bad, I kind of get it, maybe, do you know what I mean? But he wasn't super bad. I will get to why I think it might have happened. Obviously, we don't know. Maybe there was a small injury which we don't know about. Let's keep that in mind for now until Thomas Tuchel speaks after the game, right? I don't think so, though. But in terms of confidence, should you take the player off that you just brought on when other players are equally as bad, if not worse? That's where I'm not sure, if you get what I'm trying to say. But anyways, first off, in the end, we had all of the ball, had tried to just continue to create chances, but just couldn't quite deal with it. And then let me just get the minute right. In the 33rd minute, Southampton's first moment even anywhere near our box, I think it was their first touch in our box even, gets played through by, who was the assist by? Nathan Redmond. Kante was trying to press, and not Kante. Kovacic was trying to press. Alonso was trying to press. Kante was kind of caught in the middle of nowhere, not really to fault of his own, but just caught in not really covering or doing anything, really. And then Kurt Zouma just lost his man, Minamino, who made a good run. Zouma had no idea what was going on around him. Aspie had to cover for Ings, who was wide of him, so Aspie couldn't necessarily fully cover for Alonso, for Zouma in that situation. Minamino goes through, and then Aspie tries to get back, tries to block the shot, but Minamino does well, fakes the shot, puts Mendy on the ground, and then just slots it home in the far post. So that was good, right? Fair play. But we were so far the better team, and we just we couldn't capitalize on it. And it's kind of the first time this happened this season, that we just went behind. We hadn't been trailing in a game so far this season. Oh, not obviously this season, since Thomas Tuchel took over, right? And it was a difficult situation. We go into half-time, nothing changed until then. And at half-time, we make a substitution. We bring Callum Hudson-Odoi on for Tammy Abraham. Yes, Tammy had an ice pack around his ankle, but I just saw on Twitter the notification tell me that it wasn't an injury. It absolutely wasn't an injury. He just came off because, we wanted to bring something different into the game. We do that, and nothing changes. We're equally as bad in the second half. We don't create nothing. And we had a couple of moments, yeah, sure, where a cutback would have been better, or, we had a moment of offside where maybe if we were on, it would have been better. But at the end of the day, nothing quite was happening. Nothing quite was happening until the 54th minute or 53rd minute when Mason Mount was fouled by Danny Ings in the box. Poor tackle, quite frankly, poor tackle. But Mason Mount, with Jorginho not starting, is our second penalty taker. Steps up, scores, slots it home against his childhood rival. Of course, Mason Mount being born in Portsmouth, being, very close to Southampton, as always being a big rivalry. Him being very happy to score, of course, already scored against them last year. Slotted it home, and I was good. And I was like, all right, 54 minutes played. We still have so much time to get the second goal. Let's get it as soon as we can. But honestly, the first 10 minutes of the second half were better, faster, better build-up play. Even though we didn't create anything, it was a bit better. It was a bit better. And we scored, and we went back to what we did in the first half. Yes, a few good moments, but in general, a little bit too slow. Just not getting it forward enough. Passing our way out of the press nicely between the centre-backs, goalkeeper, Jorginho, Kovacic, sometimes Alonso, but most of the time Reece James. That was all well and good. But we didn't get it ahead of those. We didn't get it ahead of those, and it just wasn't working at all, quite frankly. It just wasn't working at all. And then, let me get the minute right again. So Callum Hudson-Odoi came on at half-time, and in the 76th minute, Thomas Tuchel makes a half-time substitution. We can a double substitution. We can see on the sideline Hakim Ziyech preparing, and then also Jorginho coming on. I'm thinking to myself, all right, he's probably taking Reece James off, putting Hudson-Odoi at right wing back, putting Hakim Ziyech as the right-sided number 10, or he's switching to a forward-back formation. That's what I was thinking. And then he probably brings Jorginho on for Kante just to give us more stability in midfield. And I mean, we're already losing or already just drawing, which is a bad result for us. So bring more attacking, prowess and passing prowess than the defensive prowess of N'Golo Kante. But no, Tuchel took Callum Hudson-Odoi back off and also took Kovacic off for Jorginho. And I was sat here, what? Callum looked confused. Callum looked annoyed, but accepting it, not throwing a tantrum like a certain Kepa back in the day. Tuchel went straight to him, said something to him. Obviously, we don't know what. But it was like, I don't know what the idea was. And after that, what happened? The only guy that did anything was Mr. Mason Mount. And that was one moment, and that I will touch on the Callum Hudson-Odoi substitution in a second. There was one moment that Callum had where he was played through perfectly down the right-hand side. Can't remember by who. But he had the immediate cutback with basically his first or second touch back to Mason Mount. It was in a good position to shoot and score. Callum waits, tries to, low cross it into the middle to Werner, gets intercepted out for a corner. And also, when at halftime Callum Hudson-Odoi came on, you could see Tuchel speaking to him, and also obviously the journalists present said, Tuchel, animatedly talking to Callum Hudson-Odoi, saying, run this, run there. And then even on the sideline in the second half, you said him go there, like this, make the diagonal runs consistently. And considering he took Callum Hudson-Odoi off, you'd presume that those instructions were to Callum Hudson-Odoi and he wasn't doing it. And he wasn't doing it. He wasn't doing any diagonal runs. It's also a case of let Callum do diagonal runs when he's playing on the left, not necessarily on the right, in my opinion. But then obviously Werner is so limited in what you play him. So then what the hell do you do, right? But to take him back off, I thought was extreme. Yes, he might not have listened to instructions perfectly. But surely none of the other players did, because if those were your instructions, then they weren't really good instructions. And no, Nassim, all right, relax. Absolutely not. As a player, manager should not be petty talking to a player throughout a match. I don't know what you're talking about, petty talking, but every manager is different. And, when Frank wasn't talking to anybody, we were complaining about it, and now people are apparently complaining about this. It's Chris Joff saying, if I put Mount next to Kovacic, this team will improve. That's not what I tried to click on, but maybe, but also Mason Mount is the only one that actually creates things. I mean, close to the end, man was, dishing out nutmegs left, right, and centre, the only one actually creating things, aside from winning the penalty and scoring the penalty. Do you know what I mean? I will get to Kante in a minute, Francis. I will get to Kante in a minute. Don't worry. And yes, of course, Mason was by far our best player, without a shadow of a doubt. He didn't have the best first half, I will say. But his second half was so far superior to anybody else on that entire pitch that it's like it was just all sorts of crazy. It was honestly all sorts of crazy how good he was, quite frankly, in that second half. But anyways, at the end of the day, we didn't manage to break the deadlock, and we didn't score. And it was disappointing. Yak with the £5 donation, appreciate it, bro. Saying all on Tuchel, 3 at the back was not needed. It was Giroud game, not good enough, constantly passing it backwards and boring to death, depressing AF. No, Giroud game is the last thing this was. Like, we had space behind and just didn't use it. Giroud game was not it, bro. Absolutely not. I'm sorry, bro. Appreciate the donation, but I disagree with you drastically. The 3 at the back, I agree with totally. But I also agree, like, you also have to say, I mean, we already got play through the middle with a 3 at the back. When we conceded, right? I don't think Tuchel trusts a 2 at the back without Thiago Silva. But I think the biggest mistake that Tuchel made was starting Kurt Zouma in the back 3 in the middle. Like, what are you doing? We need a ball secure player there that is good. Obviously, I get why he started him to be like a bit defensively, and obviously also going forward better on set pieces. Because obviously Southampton have a lot of big players, Vestergaard and whatever else, who, by the way, I forgot to mention, hit the bar in the second half from a header when Azpilicueta got absolutely spun by the Southampton player. So I think the mistake was more Zouma playing. I agree the 4 at the back would have suited us better, and I think especially in this, probably at half-time, but the latest with the double sub, we should have changed to a back 4. Starting it, I don't kind of get it. I get why he didn't do that. But at the end of the day, we just didn't do well. And I touched on it at the very beginning. N'Golo Kante started, and Kante, especially in the first half an hour to 35 minutes, was good, right? Was good. He won balls back incredibly well. I mean, his counter-pressing, his tackling was unbelievable. He was back to his best in that aspect. But he also had moments, just dreadful passes, just dreadful, passing them out of play, making the wrong decision. There was this one moment quite early in the game. Mason Mount is running through the left. It's running on the left through the channel, completely unmarked, has an open way to the goal. He plays it to Tammy, messes up the pass to Tammy anyway, and nothing comes from it. Regardless of some of the switch plays that were just dreadful to bloody everybody. Our team, no. Werner was poor today. Werner is right-footed. His left foot is actually not that good. And every time he is in front of a play, he doesn't trust himself to cut inside and shoot. He goes, outside and tries to cross it with his left foot. But he also did that when we didn't have a striker in the box. Like when Tammy is in the middle, fair enough. But when you're kind of the main striker, even though it was in the second half, we changed it from a 3-4-2-1 to a 3-4-1-2 with Matt as kind of mix of a false 9 and a 10. And Hudson-Odoi is the right striker, Werner is the left striker. Werner was constantly trying to cross it in the middle to nobody, at the near post. No one was going there. So I don't understand why he was doing this. It was a poor game, and it was poor management by Thomas Tuchel today. And hey, managers get it wrong sometimes, especially when they're new to a team and without preseason. You can't always get it perfectly right. So I'm not going to say to you, Tuchel is this and Tuchel is awful and whatever else. But today he got it wrong. He got it wrong to start Zouma. He got it wrong to start Kante, in my opinion. As much as he did good in winning the ball back, Kovacic had to sit. I forgot to actually finish my point. I do apologize. So Kante, yeah, brilliant in winning the ball back. Not so good in the passing. But the biggest issue was in our play. Kante was allowed to go, and Kovacic was told to sit and be a bit more of the sitter of the midfield too, right? When in the last few games, Kovacic has been so good because he dribbled his way out of things. He created things. He played good forward passes. Now he was told to sit, and that took all of those positives from the last few games out of him completely. And we had Kante in and around the final third every single time, being in the way or misplacing a pass. It's pointless. This is why I keep saying play, and I was baffled. I was 100% sure that it would be Jorginho and Kovacic just starting midfield today. When I saw Kante, I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? What? And I thought it wouldn't work, and it didn't work. It didn't work. I'm telling you, it didn't work. It backfired. And then in the second half, I mean, I can understand maybe giving Callum a little bit of a rest. Of course, he didn't get the rest against Barnsley. And he, of course, played pretty much all the other games, didn't he? I think he started every game on a Tuchel so far. And to go from that to coming on in the second half at half-time and then being subbed off again is weird. It was honestly Thomas Tuchel's substitution madness went crazy. And then Hakim Ziyech, I didn't even notice him, to be honest. I noticed him losing the ball a few times. My hair is a mess. Can't go to the barber. Sorry, guys. Anyway, Ziyech wasn't happening. Timo Werner was poor, quite frankly. Timo Werner was dreadful. There was a couple of moments where he should have just shot and he didn't. Instead, he overhit passes, so he just had dreadful touches. That's what I meant. I was like, all right, let's not get overexcited about him scoring against Newcastle. He already scored against Morecambe, he didn't do nothing. Then we excuse, it wasn't in the Premier League, it didn't matter. He will just score the one goal in the league and then it will click. Well, wasn't quite that, was it? Wasn't quite that. Yuck. With the £4.99 donation, we wanted to play through the wings. It was therefore a Giroud game. Zero creativity and Alonso being one-footed and slow in passing forward is jarring. No, it wasn't a Giroud game. It was a Giroud game late on. I agree with that. When Southampton obviously defended the 1-1. But from the get-go, it wasn't a Giroud game at all. We had space to run it behind. We just didn't use it well, but we had space to run it behind, and we didn't actually try to play over the wings all that much. Yeah, in the second half, sure. When Southampton started to sit deeper and deeper and deeper, yeah. But in general, and I will get to Marcus Alonso in just a second. Yeah, but the Kante Kovacic thing didn't work. Mason Mount, not great in the first half, but at least trying. Not always pulling it off, and he also making wrong decisions in the last moment, not being able to decide between do I shoot, do I pass, and then passing too late, messing it up a couple of times. But his second half performance was just brilliant. Tammy Abraham, yeah, he wasn't great in the first half. Don't get me wrong, he was poor, but he didn't get any service. If Giroud has this performance, everybody in this chat is telling me Giroud didn't get any service. How can you be mad at him? Well, what did Tammy have? He even held the ball up well a couple of times. Yeah, not perfectly every time, but he did okay. So I think to have a go at Tammy is a little bit ridiculous, quite frankly, because we didn't even put any good crosses to him. So whether it's Giroud or Tammy, doesn't matter. If the crosses are like that, neither of them will score. I'm worried about this run coming up. $100 donation. Yeah, bro, exactly. But by the way, Michael, YouTube take a 30% cut, so maybe you should PayPal it to me. So you know that doesn't happen like that. But let me get to Marcus Alonso. Because I have a few issues. He played well the last few games. He even started the game okay with that volley. But then he did a no-look pass in the second half. And people, including Chinos, you guys know Chinos, having a right go at me, saying, "Stop this hate for Marcos Alonso. He was trying to no-look pass to Callum Hudson-Odoi, but Callum Hudson-Odoi didn't make the run." I'm like, sod off, Chinos. Sorry, bro, but it was your birthday a couple of days ago, but sod off. What are you talking about? Look, and then maybe you see that Callum Hudson-Odoi didn't make the run. Also, the pass came right between Mason and Callum. If it went straight to either one of them, they would have been sure which one to go for it. But neither of them got on the end of it, and the defender got the ball. Well, 1-0. It's 1-0. You're Marcos Alonso, the most one-dimensional player I've seen in my entire life, and you're trying no-look back-heel flick passes. It wasn't a proper back-heel, but you know what I'm saying. You're not Eden Hazard. You're not bloody Ronaldinho. You're not Ronaldo. You're not Messi. You're not Zidane. Stop doing no-look passes and sort yourself out. And you know how I said the last 2 games, Marcos Alonso looked faster than I've kind of ever remembered him. Well, today he looked slow as hell again. It pissing me off. And we make all the substitutions, and that's again where I come to Thomas Tuchel. Rather than taking Callum Hudson-Odoi back off, just take Alonso off. He was shocking. In every part of the play, every part of it. Take him off. I don't care. Find a solution. Change to a back 4. Play Aspie at left back if you need to. Play Hudson-Odoi left wing back if you need to. Do something, but take Alonso off. And don't take Callum Hudson-Odoi off, who's been your best player for the last 6 games. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. Honestly, it triggered me a little bit. I won't lie. And people are laughing at me, and I get it. I get it why people are laughing at me, and it must be funny to see me sit here triggered. Yeah, Chile disappeared. What on earth happened to Ben Chilwell? Did you see Marcos Alonso today? So many moments in the first half where he played across, and every time he got the ball and I saw he was lining up the cross now, I could have told you 20 seconds before, we were not going to score. Marcos Alonso is the worst cross off the ball I've seen in my entire life. The worst cross off the ball. I've never seen anyone worse at it. He can't get it up off the ground properly. He can't get enough power on it, or he hits way too much power. It's ridiculous. Get that man out. He had 4 good games and now he's shit again. Get him out. I don't care. Put him back on that bus in West Brom. I'm fuming with Alonso. No, I'm not leaving Alonso alone. It's triggering me. And all this love for Marcos Alonso pisses me off even more. People say, "Oh, it's the best left wing back in the world." Bro, have you ever seen Theo Hernandez play? Or pretty much every other left back in the world? Fuming. And Kai Havertz, I don't know where he was. Presumably, he wasn't fit to play more than half an hour. And then similarly to how it was with Ziyech a couple of weeks ago, Tuchel was like, "Well, if he can't play more than half an hour, what's the point of putting him on the bench? If I have an injury early on, I need to bring him on early, and then he might get injured, and we don't want that." So that's probably the reason, right? Probably the reason. But at the end of the day, Bus in West Brom, yeah, in it, but like that's where he has to go. That's where he has to go. It's ridiculous. And we need, like, for Atletico, yes, but after that, stop this back 4 crap, back 5 crap. Go to a back 4. Okay, maybe not for United and Liverpool. After this crazy run of games, go to a back 4 and stop this. Stop this. Reece James is a right back. Ben Chilwell is a left back. Thiago Silva and Rudiger or Christensen, I don't care. Or Zouma. I don't really care. Just today I'm a bit annoyed at Zouma. And do something there. Do something there. Because we need, like, and stop playing Kante. Stop playing Kante with Kovacic. That's ridiculous. But also stop playing Kante with Jorginho. Play Kante in a game like against Manchester United. Against Liverpool. Yeah, of course. Then play Kante. Of course, he's an unbelievable player. And he showed there today how good he is at winning the ball back. Brilliant. Brilliant at it. But when we have the ball all the time, when we need to find passes, I don't want Kante on the pitch. I don't. And yeah, okay, if we play a midfield 3 and we have Kovacic, Jorginho, and Kante, that's okay. For certain games, that's good. But not bloody always now, is it? Is it? No, it ain't. It absolutely ain't. So, like, think about it. Why does Kante start? Clearly, Tuchel has this love for him, like Frank Lampard did, and they start him, and it doesn't even make any sense. And it doesn't even make any sense. Kante was good today in winning the ball back, but every time he got the ball, he was shocking. And I don't know who Kate is. Kate Middleton, is it? Like, don't know whether she was good. Didn't see her. I saw him got a Kante on the pitch and passed the ball to the opponent 9 times out of 10. It was ridiculous. And Ziyech is lazy at AF. I don't know if Ziyech is lazy. I don't know whether you can say it. Kante is not the same as he was 3 years ago. Thank you, Max. Thank you. This isn't slating and saying N'Golo Kante was never a great player. I'm not even saying Kante isn't a great player now. He is. But not at what we need most of the time. Not what we need most of the time. Where's Pulisic? Well, you missed the preview of my channel yesterday, so subscribe to my channel. Link is in the title. Just click my name, like here, Laurens Vescoli, and you get straight directed to my channel. Help me reach 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible. I'm only 1.5K or so off. So the more of you that subscribe, the better. But I told you yesterday, Tuchel confirmed in his press conference that Christian Pulisic had a tight calf, so it wasn't a proper injury. But to prevent it from turning into an injury, he was left out of this one. Someone said, you're targeting the wrong player. I will touch on this. You're targeting the wrong. Kovacic was poor. Zouma was very bad as a central defender. Aspi was defensive, very defensive, and Ziyech was even worse than Callum. I agree. Ziyech was worse than Callum. I agree with that. Kovacic was poor. I don't think Kovacic was poor as such. Half the time you got fouled and the ref didn't give a free kick for whatever reason. And Zouma was poor, sure. Aspi was very defensive, but he's playing as a centre-back. What do you want him to do? He didn't play as a right-back. Like, do you know what I mean? TT was lying. No, T-Spot. You already commented on my channel. I appreciate your opinion. I respect your opinion, but I strongly disagree with it. Because, I mean, T-Spot in the comment section of my video yesterday said, no, he doesn't think Pulisic's injured. He just wants to make space for Havertz on the bench. But Havertz wasn't even on the bench, so where's that logic gone, bro? Absolutely gone. In the end, we deserve the draw. Good defensive performance by Southampton against the poor offensive performance by Chelsea. Well, no, of course, Daniel, if you put it like that, you're absolutely spot on. We weren't good. Offensively, they were pretty good. Defensively, we made one mistake, let them score. They make one mistake in giving us a penalty. It's a 1-1 draw. Yeah, of course, it's a fair result, but we had a much better team, so we should be winning. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Good for a game to watch. Second half, no creativity. Outside, I shouldn't have got subbed. Ziyech easily bodied. Werner, Alonso, Tammy, poor. Zuma, Aspi, all for defending. No communication, shambles. Not sure Aspi was poor. He got beat for that corner that in the end ended up in, Vestergaard hitting the bar with the header. But other than that, I don't think Aspi was poor. Tomori is needed to be recalled. Agree? Well, we can't do that. Because they have an option to buy, so it's up to Milan whether he comes back or not, and he can't be recalled in the middle of the season. This ain't FIFA, bro. Oh yeah, and Reece James very late on. Mason Mount, was it straight after he met the guy? I don't know, but Reece James had the chance to win it from a Mason Mount cross and the half volley, and it's a difficult half volley, right? Obviously, we know how good Reece James is, so I expect him to do better at it. But if you ever tried in real life yourself, try a half volley. It's one of the most difficult things in all of football. But he had a good chance just inside or just outside the 6-yard box, and he just skied it completely, which was disappointing. Which is absolutely disappointing. Jovic is best when we have more of the ball. Bro, we had like 70% of the ball today. So I don't know what you're absolutely saying. The goal was Zouma fault, by the way. Yeah, of course it was, Ola. Of course it was. Who else's fault should it have been? Yeah, we had 71% of the ball, so I don't know what you're talking about there. Take a touch, Reece. Nah. I mean, I get it, but also if he gets the touch, the defender's there and it doesn't happen. Reece James' shot was kicked like an NFL punt. It kind of was. Reece James had time to hit the ball and shoot. I'm not sure about that one. Michael. I'm really not sure. I want Jovic for the Atletico game. I don't know yet what I want for the Atletico game. I'll have to wait and see about that one. Don't want to talk about anybody else or about anything else. I'm really intrigued as to what Thomas Tuchel had to say after the game about Callum Hudson-Odoi, about the rest of the game. Why the likes of Timo Werner weren't subbed off. Why the likes of Alonso weren't subbed off. Why was Kovacic the left to play rather than Kante? Didn't get it. Why Zouma started? I would love to know answers for all of these questions, quite frankly, because all of them were absolutely dreadful. All of them were dreadful. And I didn't enjoy it. That was good. Obviously, I think Liverpool play. No, Liverpool don't play. I can't remember who plays who now, but anyways, it depends on if Everton and if Liverpool and West Ham don't win, we still stay in the top 4. But hey, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. We have to wait and see. It's Atletico on Tuesday. We go again. We have to regroup. It's upwards and onwards. We go again on Tuesday against Atletico. It's a huge game at the away leg, even though it isn't away, but in Bucharest, so away for both teams. But the away goal rule still stands for us in that game. So we need to start scoring, especially in that away game. We need to start scoring. But guys, I will leave it here in just a second, but I will be doing a player ratings live stream in about 10-15 minutes over on my channel. The link to it is literally, first of all, further down in the description or just in the title. Just click on my name at Laurens Vescoli, like it says down here. You will be directed to my channel. Watch the player rating stream with a couple of people as well. I'll get a few more people's opinions on as well. So subscribe to help me reach 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible. That'd be massively appreciated. And of course, join me over there, but subscribe to Blues Fans TV first if you haven't yet. Help us reach 125,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Smash the like button on this video because it helps us push these videos out to more people. Thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea. It was a bad day. Thomas Tuchel got it wrong. A lot of people had poor performances, but hey, it's upwards and onwards. We get better. Thomas Tuchel, I'm sure, won't make certain mistakes again. And we move. Thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea. And I'll see you when I see you.